Chapter 16. Carl. Carl did his best to freshen up before the wagon reached the house. He'd spent the day working, but he'd stopped a little early in order to make dinner for Elizabeth. While that was normally her job, he wanted to do something to celebrate her getting her own business set up. He knew it would take her away from the farm, but he'd seen the light in her eye when Mr. Brown offered a piece of his store. If he could make that light remain, it would be worth it for him. As soon as Emma pulled the wagon to a stop, he held out his hand to help Elizabeth down.
"How did it go today?"
"Well, I didn't get any customers yet, besides Emma," she said, smiling up at the other woman. "But I got the area set up, and Emma promised to help me spread the word. We'll be having a social soon, so I know there are some women who will be looking for a new dress or some help in the sewing department," Emma said.
"Sounds like an eventful day then."
Carl grinned at Elizabeth, delighting in the glow that graced her cheeks.
"Thank you for bringing her back, Mrs. Cook."
"Happy to help. You have a great evening." And with that, Emma flicked the reins and the horses surged forward. "I suppose I better get cleaned up so I can make you dinner," Elizabeth said, as she began to walk toward the homestead.
"Cleaned up, yes, but I made dinner tonight."
He hooked his fingers in his belt loops and grinned at her. She stopped and turned wide eyes at him. "You made dinner?" He shrugged.
"I mean, it won't be as tasty as the ones you've made for the last week, but I thought I would surprise you tonight."
"That is so sweet of you, Carl, but I promise that I won't let this job interfere with my duties here."
"Hey."
He grabbed her hands and placed them against his chest.
"A marriage is a partnership. I wanted a partner to share life with, and I'm okay if that means that sometimes I make a less than appealing dinner so you can do something you love."
Elizabeth smiled and stepped closer to close the distance between them. "I don't know how I got so lucky finding your ad in the paper when I did."
"I do. God's touch is all over it."
"I believe you might be right about that." At that, Carl pulled Elizabeth closer and placed his lips upon hers. He kept them gentle, though his emotions wanted to deepen the kiss. He wanted to move at her pace, but he longed to have her become a partner in the way God intended. "We better get inside and enjoy your food before it gets cold," Elizabeth said, when she pulled back from the kiss. And though he wanted to protest, he was delighted to see her flushed cheeks and wild eyes that he was sure not only mirrored his own, but betrayed how much she had enjoyed the kiss.
"Indeed, Mrs. Baxter, I suppose we better."
The dinner was a simple stew, but Elizabeth didn't complain, and after dinner she curled up next to him on the couch while he read from the Bible. When he was finished with the chapter, he closed the Bible and took her hands. He rubbed his thumb across the back of her hands, enjoying the silky smoothness of her skin.
"I'm really glad that God sent you to me."
Elizabeth's breath stilled, and she glanced down at their hands before looking back up at him. "I am too." Trying to keep from rushing, Carl pulled her closer until his lips were on hers again. He had kissed Emma when they were courting, but that had been ages ago, and he did not remember it feeling this nice. When the kiss ended, Elizabeth pressed her lips together and pulled back. "Carl, I'm enjoying being your wife, but I'm not ready yet. I'm sorry." Carl shook his head and swallowed the sigh threatening to billow through his lips.
"Don't be sorry. It takes time, and I will be patient."
He wanted to be patient, but it was getting more challenging by the day. They might be done reading for the night, but he was clearly going to need to spend more time in prayer tonight. She squeezed his hands before rising from the couch. "Thank you. I'm going to retire tonight before—" A soft pink bloomed on her cheeks, and she shook her head as if words had failed her. "Good night."
"Good night."
He watched her walk into the bedroom and close the door before sighing and rubbing his hands down his face.
"Lord, I'm not sure who needs it, but either work on her heart or work on mine."